OpenAI is doing something absolutely mind-blowing, something so big that it could reshape the entire future of artificial intelligence. Shift global power in the tech industry. Create a future where the AI you use every day becomes faster, cheaper, smarter, and far more powerful than anything we have right now. This is not a routine announcement. This is not a small upgrade. This is the kind of move that sends shockwaves through Silicon Valley. Forces every major tech company to rethink their long-term strategy. To understand what is really happening, we need to start from the beginning. OpenAI's decision to build its own chips is not just a business choice. It is the result of global shortages, massive financial pressure, hardware limitations, national-level supply chain risks, and a growing need for AI companies to take control of their own destiny. Let's break this story down in the simplest way possible. Imagine every computer chip as a brain. Your phone has a brain. Your laptop has a brain. Even your microwave has a tiny brain inside it. These brains are filled with billions of microscopic switches, called transistors, that flip on and off millions of times per second. Those tiny switches are what allow machines to think, recognize images, translate languages, and run the massive AI models we rely on today. But not all computer brains are equal. Your microwave has a simple one, your iPhone has a powerful one, and AI models like ChatGPT need something far beyond even the best phone chips. They need chips so advanced that they can perform millions of small calculations at the same time. Here's the easiest way to understand it. A normal chip is like one genius working on a difficult problem. An AI chip is like thousands of geniuses working together, each solving a small part of the problem simultaneously. That is why GPUs became the backbone of modern artificial intelligence. And when we talk about GPUs, we are basically talking about one company, Nvidia. Nvidia sits at the top of the AI world. They control nearly 80% of the global AI chip market. That is an absurd level of dominance. Imagine if one company built almost every airplane in the sky, or if one company manufactured almost every car on the road. That is the level of control Nvidia has over the AI hardware industry. And their GPUs are extremely expensive. Some models cost more than a brand new car. And OpenAI does not just need 5 or 10 of these. They need thousands, they need them running around the clock, and they need more and more each month as ChatGPT usage grows. Now here's the part most people do not know. The world is facing a massive GPU shortage. Why? Because nearly all advanced chips are made by only 2 companies, TSMC in Taiwan and Samsung in South Korea. These factories are already running at full capacity, but demand for AI chips is exploding faster than they can produce them. Every tech giant wants more chips. Google wants them, Meta wants them, Amazon wants them, startups want them, researchers want them. Entire countries want them. It is like having only one bridge in a massive city and millions of people trying to cross it all at once. The result is a traffic jam that slows everyone down. And that traffic jam is slowing down the entire AI revolution. OpenAI feels the impact of this more than most companies. Running ChatGPT is extremely expensive. Every time someone writes a message, it costs OpenAI money. Individually, each message is cheap. But when over 100 million people use the platform regularly, those tiny costs add up. And suddenly, OpenAI is spending hundreds of millions of dollars each year on Nvidia hardware alone. That is why OpenAI's leadership began asking a very important question. Why are we renting someone else's brain when we could build our own? And that is the moment everything changed. OpenAI began exploring the idea of designing its own custom AI chips. This is a massive decision, and there are 3 critical reasons behind it. The first is cost. If OpenAI can design chips that run ChatGPT more efficiently, they can drastically reduce their operating expenses. This means they can scale faster, they can reduce their dependence on subscription revenue, and they can stop losing money in free users. This is similar to running a free ice cream shop. One cone costs almost nothing, but 10 million cones cost a fortune. The second reason is performance. NVIDIA's GPUs are extremely powerful, but they are general purpose. They are designed to run many different kinds of AI workloads. OpenAI wants something more specialized. They want chips designed specifically for transformer models, for extremely fast token generation, for large context windows, for real-time multimodal processing, and for the next generation of reasoning and planning models. A good analogy would be comparing a Swiss Army knife to a surgical tool. A Swiss Army knife can do many things, but a surgical tool does one thing extremely well. OpenAI needs the surgical tool. The third reason is independence. Right now, OpenAI depends heavily on Nvidia. If Nvidia raises prices, OpenAI pays more. If Nvidia cannot deliver enough chips, OpenAI gets delayed. If geopolitical tensions affect Taiwan, where most advanced chips are made, OpenAI is in serious danger. OpenAI cannot continue building the future while depending on a single external supplier. But here's the challenge. Designing a chip is incredibly difficult. Manufacturing one is even harder. Chip fabrication requires machines that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. It requires clean rooms that are cleaner than hospital operating rooms. It requires nanometer precision, where even a single dust particle can destroy a chip. Only a few companies in the world can build these at scale. TSMC, Samsung, and Intel. OpenAI will not build factories. Instead, they will do what companies like Apple and Google do. They will design the chip themselves and partner with a company like TSMC to manufacture it. This is called the fabless model. It has worked brilliantly for Apple, whose M-series chips revolutionized laptops. And it has worked for Google, whose TPUs transform data center AI workloads. Here's the process. OpenAI designs the chip architecture. Then they simulate it, test it, revise it, improve it, and eventually send it to be manufactured. Once the first prototypes are made, they test performance, heat, efficiency, and compare it against Nvidia chips. If everything goes well, they move to mass production. The entire process takes 3 to 5 years, which means if OpenAI started in 2024 or 2025, the first OpenAI chips might appear around 2027 or 2028. And when they arrive, the impact will be enormous. Nvidia will finally face real competition from one of its biggest customers. Other AI companies like Google, Amazon, and Meta will accelerate development of their own chips. Hardware innovation will increase dramatically. Startups will follow, countries will follow, and the entire industry will shift toward custom AI hardware. But the biggest winners will be everyday users, because if OpenAI succeeds, ChatGPT becomes faster, smarter, cheaper, better at understanding long conversations, better at reasoning, better at real-time interactions, and far more capable in multimodal tasks. Prices for subscriptions and API usage could drop. The technology becomes more accessible for everyone, from students to small businesses to creators and developers. In other words, the entire AI landscape shifts. This is the same evolution we saw when Apple built its M chips and stopped relying on Intel. It is the same shift we saw when Tesla built its self-driving hardware instead of using Nvidia. It is the same shift we saw when Google created the TPU to power its AI services. And now OpenAI is preparing to join this elite group. We are entering a new era of artificial intelligence, an era where the most important breakthroughs will not come only from better algorithms or larger models, but from better hardware designed specifically for the needs of advanced AI. OpenAI building its own chips is not just a technological move, it is a strategic declaration of independence. It is a signal that the age of relying on Nvidia is slowly coming to an end. If they succeed, everything changes. And we are watching the beginning of that transformation right now. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.